This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
Hello and welcome to episode 74 of the 1001 Movies podcast, based on the book 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. This week, I'll be talking about Mahboob Khan's 1957 epic, Mother India.
ना मैं भगवान हूँ ना मैं शैतान हूँ दुनिया जो चाहे समझे मैं तो इंसान हूँ.
Born in a small village in India in 1907, Mahboob Khan had always wanted to be an actor. And at the age of 23, he moved to Bombay and would spend his time on the street outside Jyoti Studios trying to find whatever work he could. He was eventually taken on by director Chandrasekhar, who found him jobs both as an extra and as an assistant director. Mahboob's directorial debut came in 1935 with Judgment of Allah, and he blossomed from there. While Mahboob began working in film, in 1927, American historian Catherine Mayo published Mother India, a book which vilified Indian culture, blaming the domineering nature of India's men on many things, including homosexuality, masturbation, rape, prostitution, and venereal diseases. The book obviously faced a great deal of criticism, and Mahatma Gandhi himself said it was like the, quote, report of a drain inspector sent out with the one purpose of opening and examining the drains of the country to be reported upon. After India reclaimed its independence, Mahboob had the idea of making a film which would be entitled Mother India, the title being a sly and ironic commentary on the book of the same name. In 1955, his script was rejected by the Ministries of External Affairs and Information and Broadcasting based on the title alone, and Mahboob found himself resubmitting his work, explaining in a 2-page letter, quote, "There has been considerable confusion and misunderstanding in regard to our film production, Mother India, and Mayo's book. Not only are the two incompatible, but totally different and indeed opposite. We have intentionally called our film, Mother India, as a challenge to this book, in an attempt to evict from the minds of the people the scurrilous work that is Miss Mayo's book." Needless to say, Mahboob got to make his film. Much of his previous work centered on women triumphing over struggles like poverty and the oppression of men, and he would almost certainly be called a feminist today. Mother India was no exception. It's about a poor village woman named Radha, played by Bollywood superstar Nargis, who finds herself toiling the soul after her husband loses his arms in an accident and abandons her with 3 sons, one of which is drowned in a flood. As time passes, the family's resentment to the local moneylender grows as he owns the land they live and work on, and his exorbitant interest rates make it impossible for Radha and her sons to ever pay it off. A scandal eventually falls upon the family, and Radha finds herself holding on to the bitter end. Bollywood actor and superstar Dilip Kumar approached Mahboob to be in the film, but Mahboob politely turned him down, explaining that the film should be about Radha and her struggles, and casting someone as popular as Kumar would steal the focus from her. This was a move that could have been disastrous to Mahboob's career. Kumar had enough clout in Bollywood to make or break people, but it was either Kumar's professionalism or the fact that Mahboob had enough power himself to do whatever he wanted without consequences. After all, Mahboob Productions, his own production house, had been making films since 1945. Popular Bollywood actress Nargis was hired to play Radha, along with several supporting cast members. Among these was Sunil Dutt, who played her son Burju. During production, while filming a scene which involved several haystacks that were on fire, Nargis found herself trapped in the flames, and it was Dutt who jumped into the fray to carry her out. Both of them sustained burns, but it developed into a blooming relationship. A year after the film's release, they were married, and Nargis partially retired from acting to raise a family. Although the premiere of Mother India was meant to be on the 10th anniversary of India's independence, its release was delayed 2 months until it was shown at the Liberty Cinema in Bombay, and it would remain there for a year. It was an instant success in India, and at the time it was the most expensive film made there, and to date the most profitable if one accounts for inflation. The chief minister of Bombay allegedly enjoyed it so much that he granted the film exempt from the entertainment tax. Mother India didn't do well just in its home country. It became the first Bollywood film to receive an Academy Award nomination, specifically for Best Foreign Language Film. One critic even called it India's Gone with the Wind, a plus that would appear on the film's poster. With its portrayal of a hard-working class overcoming the financially privileged, it became a cultural classic. As for Mahboob, he ended up adopting young Sajid Khan, who played the younger Burju in the first half of the film, and he would make only 2 more films until his death at the young age of 56 in 1964. Mother India remains his most popular film, although unfortunately, time may not have been kind to it, as few people outside India have seen it. What did I think of Mother India? Way back in episode 7, I talked about the Bollywood movie Diwar, and more or less expressed my dissatisfaction with this genre. Not so with Mother India. This film is fantastic, and the critic who called it India's Gone with the Wind was quite right in doing so. The first half of the film is a harrowing tale of survival, from the protagonist's loss of her husband, to her troubles with the moneylender, to her dealing with the flooding of her land, and rousing the other villagers to stay in spite of the flood. Radha's story is indeed like that of Scarlett O'Hara, and the scenes of Radha toiling the soul, shots of which were used in the film's promotional materials, are akin to the image of Scarlett atop a hillock, fist forward, swearing to protect her life and kin no matter what the cost. The drama does pause occasionally for a few musical numbers, but I found them far less intrusive than those in Diwar, as they never wavered from the tone of the story and popped up appropriately between beats. Just under 3 hours long, Mother India never had me anxiously looking at my clock or checking my email on my phone. Perhaps its only failure is a change of tone about halfway through, when we see Radha's 2 sons as grown men, and the younger of the 2, Burju, fails to act his age. There are moments of slapstick that seem out of place, but I think this was the norm for Bollywood films of this age. People would no doubt expect to see films with music, drama, tragedy, and comedy all wrapped up into one. Some of the comedy bits do indeed work, such as an ongoing joke involving Burju breaking pots of water with a stone, while other bits fall flat, like when a woman believes her daughter has hanged herself and she's simply propped up in a hole in the roof. Where Mother India ultimately succeeds is with drama, and it delivers the drama in spades. Radha simply cannot seem to catch a break, and little by little everything she loves in life slips through her fingers. The opening scene shows her as an elderly woman, hesitant to consecrate the filling of a new stream of water for the crops, and seeing her we know that she has lived a hard life. Nargis as Radha also delivers, and it's no wonder that she won Best Actress at the Filmfare Awards, India's equivalent to the Oscars. It also won Best Film, Best Director, Best Cinematographer, and Best Sound Recordist, for what it's worth. Just under her 30s at the time, Nargis plays Radha from young to old, and her performance transcends just a wig and makeup. This is especially admirable because I can't understand a word of Hindi, and I'm sure to viewers who can, her performance is particularly awesome. Many have said that the characters mirror various Hindu gods, although I saw Radha's story as a parallel to India's struggle for independence in the years prior to the film's production. The greedy moneylender might be a metaphor for the English, while Radha herself is the working class of India, forever toiling the land without ever accomplishing ownership of it. Her sons are the citizens of India post-independence, with one succeeding and the other succumbing to violence and banditry. Mother India is available on DVD from a company called Eros Entertainment for less than $10. However, the quality of the picture leaves a lot to be desired, and at times I felt I was watching a third-generation copy of a movie on VHS. This is unfortunate because the Technicolor brilliance of the film fails to come through, and I think this film is a prime candidate for restoration and a release on Blu-ray. Are you listening, Criterion? In no way was I looking forward to watching an old 3-hour Bollywood epic, but I was obviously really pleasantly surprised. The film should be restored not just for the sake of aesthetics, but so that it can be shown to a new generation of cinephiles as an excellent example of Bollywood cinema, which continues to be as productive and profitable as its American counterpart, and deserves more recognition for its history and interchangeability with Indian culture. That's all I have to say about Mother India, and this concludes Season 5 of the podcast. I will be back, hopefully sooner than 5 months this time, with more episodes for you, starting with 1949's Kind Hearts and Coronets, starring Alec Guinness and directed by Robert Hamer. In the meantime, you can email me any questions or comments at 1001moviespodcast@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter at 1001moviespc, and look for the podcast's Facebook page. Until next time, happy viewing.